Don't call them potato chips. They're crisps. And if you move around underneath this piece, the hammers strike the pipes, and that mimics the sound of the shipbuilding back in the day. Strong. That is fantastic. Really good. Welcome to Destination Eat Drink, the travel channel for foodies. I'm Brent Peterson, an American living in Portugal, but today we are, as you can probably tell, not in Portugal. We're in Belfast, Northern Ireland, a city filled with history and culture and great food and tons of awesome pubs like this one, the York. This place is amazing. The interior is absolutely just stunning with all of these little signs and advertisements for all the beers here in Ireland and Northern Ireland. It's really cool. And when you're in Ireland, you drink Guinness. So cheers. Thanks for being here. We're gonna drink a lot. We're gonna eat a lot. And I think we're gonna learn something about the Troubles too. This super hip, 100% plant-based cafe is called The Hustle. You know it's hip when they're playing Velvet Underground in the background, although I'll have to take that out to get this video on YouTube. Karen got their version of Irish stew. Now, of course, Irish stew usually has beef in it. This is made with broad beans and sweet potato. That is fantastic. Really good. And then I got this little tofu scramble. That's really good too. Yeah. If you want to get away from the heavy stuff that you're usually getting in Ireland, all the meat-based, Hustle's a good place to go. Tasty. So my friend Grania Lawler, who runs Flavor Trails, a whiskey tasting and sightseeing tour company in Dublin, recommended this bar when we come to Belfast, and she recommended it because of these. They're called Snugs, and this particular bar has very beautiful snugs and a lot of them. They're little private rooms that you can come in and drink, and originally these were built to have women come in and sit and drink in the pub. Because originally women weren't allowed in pubs in Ireland. So they built these snugs. And there's two kinds of viewpoints about it. Some feminists say, well, it was really pro-feminism because it allowed the women to come into pubs at a time when they weren't allowed. Others say it was anti-feminist because they were segregating the women. It's up to you as to what you believe, but they still stand in a lot of bars in Ireland, especially here in Northern Ireland. And these snugs, what makes them special is they date to the original 1880s, not 1980s, 1880s, when an Italian craftsman built them. And you can see just how gorgeous these snugs are. Really beautiful. And there's a ton of them all the way around the perimeter of this bar. There must be a dozen, maybe more snugs in here. And we get to enjoy them now. I didn't get a Guinness, I got a cider, and cider is also popular here in Northern Ireland, throughout Ireland, and this is an Irish cider from Tipperary, and it's tasty. It's dry, not too sweet, and got a bag of these. Don't call them potato chips, they're crisps. Belfast was one of the most important cities in the British Empire in the 19th century. That's because it was an industrial powerhouse. Here's where a lot of the shipbuilding for the empire was done, including warships and commercial ships. And this is where the Titanic was built and launched from. And the Irish have a great joke, which is, she was fine when she left here. So I think that shows the Irish humor. Anyway, this piece of art, this public art piece, is to commemorate that shipbuilding industry that was so important here in Belfast. These pipes hang down, and then above you are these hammers. And if you move around underneath this piece, the hammers strike the pipes, and that mimics the sound of the shipbuilding back in the day. This pub is called McHugh's. It's been here for over 300 years, so it's obviously a very traditional pub here in Belfast. And they had some traditional music playing in the back too. Love when you come to Ireland and you see these trad bands playing just jam sessions, really informal. Anyone can bring their instruments and play. It's really great. This video is for Sushi Phase. They just donated and helped support Destination Eat Drink at buymeacoffee.com/Destination Eat Drink. You can too. Or you can buy one of my foodie travel guides. They're ebooks you can download to cities in Spain and in Portugal and in Malta and in France and in Italy. And the one for Portugal, over 600 pages long, just $9.99 at buymeacoffee.com/Destination Eat Drink. Cheers. Just over 100 years ago, Ireland became independent from England and the Republic of Ireland was born, but not without controversy. 6 counties in the north were stripped off and became their own new country called Northern Ireland. Northern Ireland became part of the UK along with England, Wales, and Scotland, and the Republic of Ireland was completely separate. Tensions simmered for decades between loyalists, those are the folks who supported the crown in England, and Republicans. Those were the folks who wanted to be united with the Republic of Ireland. And in the late 1960s, those tensions boiled over into violence. British soldiers were supposed to bring things under control, but instead they fanned the flames and civilians on both sides were killed and injured, and people were left homeless as their houses were burned to the ground in political violence. Loyalists and Republicans who once lived side by side in an uneasy truce retreated to partisan neighborhoods, and walls topped with barbed wire separated the two camps. A peace was finally brokered in 1998, and it's mostly held since then. So when you come to Belfast, one of the must-do activities is to see the partisan neighborhoods. They still exist, and the street murals depicting each side's beliefs. On the Republican side, murals of Irish heroes like Bobby Sands are prominent, along with contemporary murals showing Ireland's long-standing support of Palestine. On the Loyalist side, paramilitary groups, which are apparently still recruiting, are celebrated. These murals show the history of the Troubles from the 60s to the 90s and simmering tensions that still linger just under the surface. However, the highlight of the whole tour is the so-called Peace Wall. Now, a wall was built between neighborhoods to separate loyalists and Republicans, and that wall still stands, and probably for good reason, but today it's dedicated to peace, and you can sign the wall and add a message of peace to it. Some of the best views in Belfast are here at the top of Victoria Square. You got 360 degrees all the way around. You can see some of the classic structures here, including the Albert Clock, which is behind me, as well as all the construction that's going on in Belfast, and there's a lot of it. Best of all, elevators free to come up here. White's is the oldest pub in Belfast. Dates back to, can you guess? 1630. Almost 400 years old. They're going to be celebrating their 400th anniversary in just a couple of years. Crazy. This interior's got atmosphere to burn. Really cool. And cranking out some traditional Irish music over the speakers. So what do we get? Of course, we got an Irish coffee. Coffee and whiskey. Normally it has cream on the top. Karen didn't want that, so we didn't get any cream on the top. But cheers. Strong. And not coffee strong. Whiskey strong, but it's tasty. This is Home, a Michelin-recognized restaurant here in Belfast, and we're here for lunch. Just got a simple little salad here. It's got quinoa and greens and veggies in it. And on the bottom, a little tomato tapenade. which is super sweet and delicious. Good food. All right, now you're going to laugh when I point this out to you, but you can actually get tap water here in Northern Ireland. In Portugal, it drives me bananas when you order water and they bring you a plastic bottle and sit it on the table. Not only is that unnecessarily expensive, but it's also very environmentally unfriendly. Portugal, get with the program. Tap water's where it's at. This is the St. George's Market, and there's been a market here for hundreds of years, but it was uncovered originally. In 1880, they built this covered market, and it's the last Victorian market here in Belfast. And St. George's Market is massive inside. There's hundreds of vendors, mostly selling things like arts and crafts. People makers are here, and there's also a bunch of prepared foods and pop-up restaurants in there, but there are a few produce vendors in there, and we got some fresh fruit for a picnic that we're going to have a little bit later, so that's really nice. Now, this guy here is Alec. It's a statue to commemorate what was really the unofficial mascot of the market. Over 100 years ago, this guy Alec used to come to the market and visit his owner, who was a vendor inside the market. So they built this statue to remember this popular little goose. What's that, buddy? Don't eat the foie gras? So we came to the Belfast Botanic Garden to have a little picnic with our treats we got at the St. George's Market. In addition to that fruit, we also got some fudge in the market, and that was really, really good. So we had a nice little picnic while we were here. As an added bonus, here in the Botanic Garden, they're having the Belfast Photo Festival. So all these really cool photos have been blown up like this, and we had a good time wandering around and looking at them. So that's it for this video. If you enjoyed it, give us a thumbs up and subscribe to the channel, because I'm always doing new videos of food and travel. And Belfast has just been a great experience. Great people, really warm and engaging, and the history is right there. Recent history, first-hand experience history that people will tell you about if you ask them here in Belfast. So definitely worth your time. I think we'll be coming back to Belfast. I'm Brent Peterson. See you down the road.